Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, welcome back to probably, hopefully, the final day on Project F-Abarth. As you can see, the bumper's off again. I've got the brackets in the post for the wing. I need to get those on and get this bumper back on once and for all. So let's get on with it. So, as you know, we've got no bracket on this at all because this is a new wing. So I need to get one on there, and then we can get that bumper on. But what I have discovered, there was a bit of a bulge here. I didn't really know why. Obviously, this wasn't damaged. What I have noticed is that bracket is also broken. But luckily, I've got some for this side, so I'm going to have to drill this one out. The other one doesn't need drilling out. Obviously, there isn't one on it to drill out. How good do these wheels look? Yeah, so I'm going to drill that one out. I'll do the other one first, put the other one on, and then drill this one out and put a new one on here. And then hopefully we should be able to get this bumper back on. Still got to put the foam on there. I've put those on as well now. I'm not sure they were on before. There you go. In case you hadn't seen the new condenser and the new radiator, there it is in all its glory. So it was interesting, some of your comments on the previous video on the F-Abarth. All of you except for one, I think, were pleased that I'd put the new condenser on, the new radiator on, and in hindsight, so am I now. I don't know why I wasn't going to do it in the first place. I do still think, you know, like as someone said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but I don't think it was the video making it look as bad as it looked. It was really quite bad. It looked even worse once I got it off, to be honest. I've got a phone, presumably this is going to be on the road and ready to drive by the end of the day, but when I know that's the case, I'm going to give the aircon guy a text and see if he can do it for me today or this evening when he gets home, so I can drive up there. I normally go up there sort of 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that, and he does it for me, so hopefully he can do that. So yeah, so as I say, most of you thought it was a good idea for me to do, and I am glad I've done it now. So let's get on with this bumper. As I say, hopefully I'm going to get this car finished today, and then it'll be ready to go. I've got to do that clock spring as well. I'm going to do that. It's absolutely, well, it's not pouring at the moment. You can see the ground wet. It's been pouring again. It's hopefully the last day of all of this horrible weather we've been having recently. Good old British summer. Anyway, let's get tools out and get on and get these brackets on. Alright, I've got the foam thing on. So I've discovered something this morning which I was suspicious of anyway from past experience. So as I mentioned to you, I bought the new one of those, which you've just seen me put on time lapse, and that one which I already had. Now that one is an aftermarket one, I think. This one, I think, is a genuine one. I just want to show you gaps. So if you look here, this is the genuine one. You've got a gap there. What is it, about 2 mil, maybe 3 mil? Bit bigger there, bit bigger there. So that's obviously where the tabs of the bumper slip in nice and snugly. On the other one, which is an aftermarket one, you'll notice there's barely any gap, especially on this edge. So I mean, there's what I have done, although then I put the foam thing on so it's cooled down, is I've got my heat gun out and I warmed it up to give a bit more bend, because twice in the past I've used these and this front bit has snapped and I've ended up leaving it, and this is obviously why, because they're not right. So some things it's fine to use these aftermarket things. This is one that I won't be using again. I have got another one of these. If it breaks this time, it breaks like it did before, but I mean it goes into these bits, but it's this end bit and this end bit. This is the one that always snaps off. because you try and force it in. So I'm hoping I'm going to warm it up again before I put the bumper on. So I'm going to offer the bumper up to sort of this position, plug the lights in, and then I'm going to heat those up and then see if we can get it home. Once it's home, it won't be coming off again. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to time lapse you for this anyway. But as I say, I was suspicious of that before, and that's just confirmed my suspicion now. So I can't remember how much I paid for those ones, and I think they probably came from China. Those ones were like 10 quid each, 9.99 each. The ones that I bought for the other side, I bought 2 of them for, you know, next time I need one. So I think I'll do that for these as well, not for this car, but I'll get the other side, even though it's 10 quid. I probably paid 6 quid each for those, 5 quid each for them, maybe even less than that. I don't know, I can't remember. But yeah, all right, so it cost me double, but then I don't have the grief of them breaking, which is absolutely stupid. Anyway, let's get them on. Fingers crossed it heating up will give it a bit more flexibility and it won't break. Let's do it. It's proving difficult, as I thought it would. That was a pig. That was an absolute pig of a job. But by using the screwdriver, just prising them down a little bit, I managed to do it. It's gone in and it's fine. It's perfect. But it's so tight. It's just so ridiculous that. Now the other side should go in easy. Let's try. I'll leave you on normal time. It should go in easy, this one, because this is the proper bracket. Fingers crossed. And then this won't be coming off again. You watch, I would have forgotten to do something and I've got to take it off again, but okay. Doesn't help being wet either. My God, why won't this? Something's in the way here. What's going on? Oh, what now? Oh, that was a pig. That was a pig and a half. It's not very good this side. This side. It's a bit of a gap. But, I mean, it's acceptable, but it's not perfect. The other side's okay, funnily enough. Obviously, I've got to get the bolts in there. I think it must have been where this new wing's been put on, and maybe it's not quite in the right position. But God, that was a pain. That was the most difficult bumper putting on. It is a pattern bumper, of course, whether that's got something to do with it, but yeah, it's probably where the wing's gone on. It's okay, it's acceptable, but it's not perfect by any stretch. That's really annoying. But never mind, it's on now anyway, so it's done. So I need to get the bolts in, make sure it's all at the right height, and here back to front, adjust it. Hopefully won't need any washers because I've not changed the front panel or anything. And then that's on for good now. I need to check the lights actually, make sure they're working. I'm sure they will be, but I'll check that before I actually do all the bolts up. You probably can't see in this light, but I've actually I put the blue bulbs in there. You can just see the blue tinge to them. They're so much nicer, so much whiter. I thought in a blue car it would be even better to put the blue lights in. I'll show you. I'll try and video it. I'll get a picture of it when it's dark. So you can see what difference they are. But they are so much nicer colour, but they work, so that's good. Well, it's just gone midday. I've had to give up. I am absolutely. Would you believe today? It's summer solstice today, the longest day of the year, middle of summer, meteorologically. And look at the state of me. I'm absolutely soaked. My glasses are steamed up. I can't see a bloody thing. My trousers. Can't see my trousers. I'm absolutely soaked through to the skin. And I've been doing this bloody car all morning, trying to get all the bits and pieces done. I had a bit of a mare, I'll show you what. Let me just wipe the camera. Right, so the nightmare I had was that DRL. It wasn't working. It was working when no lights were on. The flasher was working, but the dim one wasn't working. So I thought it was a dodgy bulb, so I changed the bulb. Bearing in mind I'd put that bumper on. I changed the bulb. I always take the wheel off when I change a bulb. I just can't get to the damn things. Still didn't work. Tried another bulb, still didn't work. So I looked at the light. I thought, is it the lamp? Is it the cables? I came to the conclusion I thought it was probably the cables. The plug didn't push on properly. I don't know if you know about these cars. When you push those DRL plugs on, they click when they get to the final position to show they're in the right place. It didn't click. It pushed right on but didn't click. So I thought, oh, it's dodgy. So I cut the wires and put a new plug on. Still nothing. So I resorted to half taking the bumper off this side, taking the DRL off, and then came to the conclusion that it was probably the plug that the bulb goes into. So I cut that off on the light itself, put a new one on, nothing. And then the one that I'd cut off, which I've got here, and yes, this is the bumper for the new project that's just turned up. This is the one that was on it, which I cut off and put a new one on. What I noticed, I thought, oh look, that's been burnt out. So it's got to be that. And when I looked at the other side of the light, I haven't got a light to show you at the moment. We're going to put them all away. Let's go and get one, hang on. Oh, that's on the floor. Well, that's going in a bin anyway. I was only kept it to show you. Right, let's get one of these lights out. So the pins, you see those pins? You got the two thick ones in the middle and the two thin ones either side. One of those ones at the side, the thin ones, was pushed right in. So somehow, whether it's that plug that it looked like it was, I don't know what it was on it, but it was stopping it from pushing in, and someone, probably me, has just pushed it hard, and it's pushed the pin in. So it wasn't all the way in, there was a bit protruding, so I got a pair of long nose pliers on it, and managed to pull it out, and it's fine now. But that took me, in the pouring rain, forever. I'm tripping over stuff in the bleeding garage as well. So yeah, it took me forever. So the bumper had to come off. I took the light out, put the light back in, managed to get the bumper all nipped up properly again. Thankfully, I've done the gap there. There's a bit too much gap, very slightly too much gap there, but it's staying like that. I can't get it any, but I can't put any more washers in there. It looks silly. Don't know why it is, but maybe panel needed raising up very, very slightly that side. But it's on. It's staying on. What else did I do? In this weather, I've got to do that. Glue that back on. I can't do that in this weather. It's just sopping wet, so it's going to stay sopping wet, isn't it? There's no way that I can be tiger sealing sills on, skirts on in this bloody weather. The rain has actually eased off a little bit at the moment, but I am so wet, it's ridiculous. I jacked up the back of the car to raise the bumper up, so the wheels obviously go down, the body of the bumper comes up. The body of the car comes up, the wheel stays where it is, give me a bit more access there. I've done those ones up. This one I had to take the wheel off because there was one of the clips that it screws into was still on the back of the arch liner and I couldn't get it off, so the wheel had to come off to get a screwdriver on one end and a pair of pliers on the other. That's all done now, that's all clipped in. I've got 3 things left to do, I think, maybe 4 things. I'm going to do this before I go in and change my clothes. I'm going to get that off, because obviously this is a good wing which is staying on, so that's got to come off, which won't take long. That's number 1. I've got to put the 2 bolts underneath. I'm fed up lying on the floor in the wet, so they can wait till tomorrow. So I've got the 2 bolts underneath, or is it 3? No, 3 bolts underneath on the front panel, bumper and front panel. I've got to change the clock spring, which I may do this afternoon. I've got the new clock spring, so as it's in the dry, I might do that this afternoon. The only other thing I've got to do is I've got the new one of those. I don't know if I showed you this before. So as you know, all the sensors are in the bumper obviously, but when I got those, I think I did show you this, but this was when I was recording with no sound, so I cut it out. This is how the control module arrived. Completely destroyed. Even that, look how all bent all that is, so God knows what happened to it. The package was slightly open, but I mean that bit's going to be okay. But yeah, completely and utterly destroyed. The transistors hanging off, they're all bent. Don't know what happened to it, but the sensors are fine. So they sent me I say they're fine. They were in a separate box, so I'm sure they'll be okay. They've sent me a new control box, which I've got. But this weather is just doing my swede in, so I'm not doing it today. I'll hope and pray for rain. For rain. I hope and pray that there's a dry day tomorrow, and we can get on and get this finished. So that's number 4. Yeah. So the bolts, the clock spring, the sensors, and that little thing on the side, which I'm going to do in a second. That before I go in. I think that's it. Oh, the sill. So there's 4 things left to do, none of which will take very long. I can probably do the whole lot in about an hour, but I just can't be working in this rain today. And I've got to go and stick this out on the road as well, because it's the middle of the day, as I said, and Loopy Harold is full up with stuff. I'm going to the dump after I've dried off and take all this rubbish. The car's full of rubbish. That is my van at the moment, so I'm going to put the blue one there while I go to the dump. And yeah, and that's it for now. So we will come back tomorrow when we get this finally finished. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to do as well. I was going to machine polish the bonnet rather, to try and get it to blend in with the bumper, because it is slightly different. You can even see it's slightly different in this where it's wet. But yeah, that's all we can do. But I can't do it. Obviously can't machine polish in the rain. It's windy as well. It's, as I say, it's summer solstice today, the longest day of the year. It's, what is it, the 21st of June, nearly July, and the weather's like this, and it's been like this for over a week now. Oh my God, this. Stop talking, Paul. Let's just get on. Right, okay, I'm going to end now. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a bit of decent weather, and we can get this finally finished, and then this will be the final video on it, and I can contact the fella who's very interested in it. Even if he doesn't have it, I've told him that I've put the price up a bit, so I'm putting it up for 2,000. I've told him that I'm going to put it up for sale for 2,800, and I told him he can have it. First refusal. I gave him first refusal on it for 2,700. So obviously I have spent a little bit more on it. We will go through the figures at the end of the video. But yeah, it'll be going. I think I'll probably put it up for 2,750, something like that, or 2,795. But I've told him he can have it for 2,700 if he wants it, and I can't see why he wouldn't. It's he liked it when he came to see it, when it had white bumpers on the front and the back. So he should really like it now. It had an awful steering wheel on it, which is now in Loopy Harold. It had the old silver wheels, which were all curbed and nasty. I mean, it looks really nice now. So yeah, hopefully he'll buy it. I think he will. New one's coming tomorrow, so that'll be will be a walk around on that soon as well, by the weekend. But for the time being, we will see you tomorrow. So yeah, enjoy the rain. Laters. Alright, so welcome back. Next day, and as you can see, the weather is almost as bad as it was yesterday. It's a little bit brighter up there today, but it's still pouring with rain. Not as much as yesterday, but it's pouring with rain. So I've got the Puma out of the way, and what I'm going to do, I've got the 2 things I'm going to do today. I don't know if I'm going to get all of these things done that I need to do. I'm going to do those parking sensors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the car back into the garage, or just the tip into the garage. Once I put the hatch up, I'll be in relative dryness then, and I can get that bit done. But the other bit I'm going to do now, I'm hoping it might brighten up, because the sky is a lot brighter today than it was yesterday, even though it is raining quite hard at the moment. I didn't get that off yesterday. I'm going to do that first now. But then I've got the clock spring to do, and at least obviously that's in the car, so I'm not going to get wet doing that. Whether we're going to be able to do that today, I think I'm going to have to attempt it today. Otherwise, if this weather don't stop, I'm just never going to get it done. I haven't texted the bloke about the AC yet. I'm going to text him now actually, and see if he can do it for me tonight. And then it will be pretty much done then. So let's get on with it. I should be a weatherman really. I'm wasted doing cars. So as I said, it's brightening up, so, and it has actually stopped raining now, so I've just repackaged this bumper up, this rubbishy bumper that you'll see on the next project that I bought. You'll see it anyway, so I won't bother talking about it now. So anyway, so whilst it stopped raining, I'm going to get this boot done. But I'm still going to get that done first, that little stupid little Abarth stickery bit. So I'll get that done, which I won't bother filming, and then we'll get the video. Sorry, I was looking out on the road at someone going past and wasn't paying attention to what I was saying. Start again. Right. Yes. So we will then get you up on tripod and we'll get the sensors done. I'm not going to film me in real time doing the sensors. You know, they're obviously already in here anyway. But I'll do it on time lapse. If you want to see them being done for real, in real time, I did them on the convertible. Was it last year sometime or the year before? I can't even remember now. Time flies so quickly when you're doing these things. Done so many of these now. So yeah, I'll put the link above if you want to watch that in its entirety. It's not got fantastic sound on that. That was before the days of these external microphones, so the sound's not fantastic. But if you want to see how to do it, have a watch of that. It's exactly the same process as I'm doing here, except I drilled the holes in the bumper on that occasion. Anyway, let's get on with it. I've got a bit of a problem with this. I've plugged them in, wired them in, just temporarily, just to test them to make sure they work. And they're going beep, 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 beep all the time. I've plugged in, I've got one for my sister, a kit for my sister-in-law's car, which are the wrong green, but they are green. And I've been told before by people when I've asked the question whether you can paint them, and I've been told yes. So I've plugged in one from her car, or the one that's going to go in her car, and they work fine. It works fine on its own. If I unplug that and plug in one of these ones, oh, it seems to be working now. That's funny. When I had them all plugged in before, that's weird. It must be that one. It wasn't working. That's weird. I wonder if there's a 141 or something. We'll have to try and figure it out. So I'll plug them in one by one. So that's that one. That's really weird. So which one's that? That one? Yeah. So that's that one. Shush. So that's that one. So if I plug that one into there, because we want those to seems to be working now. That's really weird. I didn't film it before, so I thought I'd try it first so I had something to tell you, but now it seems to be doing it. So right, I've got one more to plug in, which is where's it gone? There it is. Do be quiet. See, this is what it was doing all the time, but of course at the moment I'm in front of it. That's really weird. It's working fine now. I'm glad about that, because I didn't really know what I was going to do. So move away. Oh, hang on, now it's doing it again. Look, I'm just having a thought. I wonder if it could be anything to do with the rain, the water on it. I wonder if it's that 140 sensor. I wonder. I see it's doing it again. How weird is that? I'm gonna have to try and get to the bottom of this. Well, I've worked out which one's which, so I've marked them on the plugs A, B, C and D. A being left, B being that one. You can't see what I'm pointing. That's A, that's B, that's C, that's D. And this seems to be working. I don't know why it didn't before. I hope it's not going to be, obviously these are cheap Chinese things, aren't they? I'm just hoping it's not going to be something that's not going to work intermittently. Well, it's certainly working at the moment, so all we can do is carry on putting it together, wiring it in permanently, and see what happens, I suppose. So yeah, let's get on with it. Put you back on time lapse. That's it, all done, all neatly put away. So the ignition is on, and it's in reverse gear. As you may or may not be able to see, the reversing light is on as we walk towards the car. That's it, sorted. So it's all nicely tucked behind here, earthed just there. I've put the beeper up there. I could have tucked that wire away. Actually, I will tuck that wire away under here, I think. Just make it a little bit more neater. You could screw it in, but there's a sticky pad. I think that's probably sufficient. Yeah, that's it, all done. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever put the beeper here. Normally I put it down there somewhere, but it tends to fall off because stuck on this sticky carpet. So I thought I'd stick it on there. I know you have got screw holes on there, and I don't think the ones I've had in the past have had screw holes, but the only concern of it there is if someone's sitting in the back, it's quite close to their ear. I keep them awake anyway, won't it? So that's it. That's another job done, and thankfully the rain is left off. It's warming up. I might even have to take my fleece off. I need to clean that up there. So there is still a little bit of beeping when it shouldn't beep, if you see what I mean, sometimes, but that's sort of, I don't know, maybe it's just not a particularly good kit. I don't think I'll buy this kit anymore. And then if at some point in the future it goes wrong and I have to replace it, then I'll have to replace it, but yeah, I've never had a kit do that before, and I don't want it to end up being just, you know, one that intermittently does that. I want it to work properly. So that's it for now anyway. We'll take it for a drive and we'll have a little test of it properly against walls and stuff, rather than me walking up to it. But yeah, hopefully it should be okay. Alright, it's that time again. Time to do the clock spring. I'm not going to do it in real time because you saw me do it the other day. I've got the clock spring that's got the correct plug on it. So I'm going to put you on time lapse. We'll get that done. and then we'll come off time lapse to check to make sure that the horn and the steering wheel controls work, and then that will be another job nearer to completion. Right, battery's reconnected, it's all on. Need to make sure the stereo controls work. Oh, everything's going now. Indicators work, yep. Back wiper works. Turn the stereo on, turn the volume down. Let's put it on a station that hopefully no music. Yeah, that works. Good. Source button. Yeah. Windows button. Phone.
Searching for connection.
Ooh, that's loud.
Try again later.
Okay. That's because there is no connection. Right, turn that back off. He says, oh, put it back on FM. Oh, Radio 1, hate Radio 1. Turn it off, we'll do that later. Right, hooter. Yes, that's better. Good, that's done. Thank God for that. So I'll keep that other one because there's nothing wrong with this one, but this one is for a pop. So I will keep it. It was only the other one that I took out that wasn't any good. Right, so that's that done. Another job done. What else do we need to do? I've still got machine polish that bonnet. I think I'm going to do the tiger sealing of the sill now. Let's get that done. The sooner that gets done, the sooner it goes hard and stays stuck. Oh, the other thing I noticed, of course, when I reconnected the battery, just remind you as well that when I did this, took this off, I disconnected the battery. Always disconnect the battery. Only the earth terminal. You don't need to take the earth and the live off. Just take the earth off. That's for everything you do. You don't need to completely disconnect it. So yeah, I noticed that I've got to clean the engine bay as well. I haven't done that yet, so that's another job to do. But all these things are just bits and pieces, aren't they? Just a little bit. I'm also going to get the old smoke machine out and make it smell nice in here. It smells a bit musty in here. I've had this air freshener for so long. This California Scents one, Santa Barbara Berry. It still smells really nice, but it doesn't really scent the car very much. I guess it's every time I get a car, I put that in it. Because they're more often than not, they're a little bit on the smelly side. So yeah, let's put the bonnet down for the time being, and let's get that seal started. Oh, I don't need to take that with me. Put that on the floor for now. Okay, let's do this. Right, I'm just putting some gloves on. What I've done is I've sort of masked the top of the bottom of the door and the top of the sill. So when I get this, squirt this down, it reduces the chance of anything. I'm just getting this, just getting my knee pad thing. So also I want to put it underneath in case I drip any, as well as kneel on it. Yeah, so I've put this tape on just in case any drips. I've dried it off as best I can, and now I'm just going to squirt it basically, and then I'm going to I'm going to put some duct tape on to hold it in position. This is a new tube, so I haven't cut the end. Oh, shite! Smacked my head. I haven't cut the end of the tube off to make it bigger. Let me just do that. You know, the end of the nozzle. Don't really know how much to use, so I'm going to pull it out as much as I'm comfortable pulling it. Squirt it in. So as I come along, it's obviously, I can put it on top of the old stuff. I haven't tried to take the old stuff off, which maybe I should have done, but I haven't, so hopefully it's still going to stay. Oh, I love the smell of this stuff. Right, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I'm glad I put this masking tape on, because I have got it on the top of the blue. I mean, it will come off, but I think I probably need to do some underneath as well. It's there, and then I'm just going to put a bit. No, I don't think it needs any on there. Put some on there, just to help it. Right. I am getting some on the car, so I think isopropyl alcohol will get that off. This is why I wear gloves, because it makes a right old mess. Just trying to squeeze as much as it off as I can. Trying to avoid getting it on the car, but it's impossible. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to take these gloves off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take, it sort of holds it on its own, to be fair, but this end bit I'm going to tape up. So I'm going to need to take these gloves off, because they're now covered in that filthy stuff. It's filthy but good. See, that's pulling away now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tape on there and then tape it into the wheel arch to hold it in place, which it does superbly. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm just going to put some more gloves on, and then I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to get some isopropyl alcohol on it and see if I can. I don't want to wait until it's gone off. I want to try and get it off now. So let's get rid of these gloves. Whatever you do, you just cannot help getting this stuff on your fingers. It's evil stuff. Right, let's get rid of these, get some gloves on. Oh, and then come back. Right, it's got a bag to put the it probably would have been better to do this when it was dry, but I don't want to really. Glue's better to, generally glue is better to take off, you know, over, I was going to say overspray, whatever you like to call it, when it's wet. So I'm going to leave that bit there. I'm going to have to rip that bit, because that is oh, come on, that's where I've got it. Hold it. Actually, it's not too bad. There is some on it, but it would be better to open the door to do it, I think. But I'm still going to run some IPA over it. I think it is better to do it when it's still wet. Not cured, I should say, not wet. I'm glad I put this tape on though. If I just rip that there. I think I'm going to put another bit of duct tape just to help it along. There. As well. That'll help to hold it. I'll get that off after. Right, got a little bit on my hands, but not much. So I need to now, there's a little bit there. This hopefully will take it off. It's good stuff, this isopropyl. Sort of taking it off. Sort of. It's smoothing it out at the very least, so you can barely see it actually. Being a dark car, I did open a tube of the Tiger Seal, and it was a white one, and I was going to use it, and I thought, no, I mistakenly thought it was black, but it's not, it's white. I'm glad I didn't use that now. Yeah, no, it does take it off, as long as you persevere with it. Obviously I don't want it getting in and stopping things from sticking. What I'll do is, I think I've done it pretty much. You can't really see it much. What I'll do is I'll go over it again once it's dry. It is holding pretty fast, but I'm going to put a bit more tape on that as well to hold it on. More chance I can get of it. I didn't really want to stick this on the new paint on the wing, but I've done it now, so right, I'll leave that. Nope, got a hole in my glove now. Let's give it one more little wipe over with IPA. On the edge. Yeah, that should do it, I think. I mean, unless you get down on your hands and knees, you're never going to see it. I may even brush a bit of paint in it when it's dry. That's it, done. Right, that's another job done. What have we got left to do? Need to have a think. There it is, the Abarth. We'll give you a proper detailed walk round shortly. Right, that's the engine all nice and clean. So what's left? Very little. Another good clean on the outside. I think we've still got to give it a proper clean on the inside. I'm going to do some obviously that needs to go off, and yeah, it's sticking nicely. I'll probably leave that a couple of hours and then take that off. I may even leave it till the morning. I've got to drive it and see how this exhaust is, whether it moves too much or not. I don't know whether it's going to be moving around too much or not. What else have we got to do? Can't think. I've got the little sticker bit off of there, that's gone. Black the tyres up properly. I've got to touch up the bits of paint. There's a few bits on the skirt down there, and there's another couple of little scratches, someone's heels of their shoes, I imagine. And there's a little, that's not going to polish out. I think we'll just have to leave that. I can't, if I put a paint in that, it will show. I think that's it. So I'm going to use the smelly stuff with the smoke machine in there. Yeah, I think that's it for the time being. We'll come back later on and finish it off, because at the moment I've just been tracking my new project, which is almost here. It's probably about 15-20 minutes away. He's on the M25 with it at the moment. So I need to get this out of the way so I can bring the new project down here. So we'll be back a little bit later today, and then hopefully will be the end of this video. Obviously the aircon's still got to be topped up, but I'm hoping to get that done later on today as well, and then it'll be all done. Anyway, that's it for the time being. See you in a minute. So I just got back from having the aircon regassed. It's all working properly. The fan comes on when it should. All nice and cold. £30. Job's a good one. So apart from a good clean up and touching up the paint, that's it. It's done. It's a bit of a pain that I haven't got the logbook back yet, so it might be a little bit difficult to sell it, because I have got, as you know, a potential seller. But apart from a good clean up and a bit of a touch up of paint, there's nothing else to do really now. So it's no point me delaying tomorrow's video just for that. So that's the end of the project. If you've not been here before, if you've not seen the entire project, click on the link above and it will show you the first video in the series of the fake Abarth. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. The next project will be on at the weekend, and Love 500 Salvage on Instagram. If you're a subscriber to Instagram, you would have already seen a sneak peek of the new project that's coming. Well, it came today, but I did the walk around today, but that video will be up on Saturday. So yeah, check us out on Instagram, Love 500 Salvage. Again, obviously, if you're only a casual viewer on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up on the videos. That really helps the channel. And yeah, we'll see you at the weekend. So yeah, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.